Look into the mirror. Do you see a man of discipline or a man of excuses? Do you see a blade sharpened by sacrifice or a dull edge worn smooth by comfort? The mirror does not lie. It reflects the life you have carved day after day, the choices etched into your face, the will or the weakness that has shaped your stance. It is not your enemy, but it will not flatter you. And so I ask again, when you stare into that reflection, do you stand as a warrior or as a prisoner of your own excuses? The river does not pause because you are afraid to step into its current. The world does not care for your excuses. Nature is merciless, and so must you be with yourself. For Musashi warned that every action must serve the way. Waste nothing, for wasted motion dulls the blade. Every indulgence you protect is a stone tied to your ankles in the flood. Discipline is the fire that melts these chains. Without it, you are nothing but prey. Prey to your cravings, prey to the weakness of habit, prey to the opinions of others. You think you are free, but if you cannot deny yourself, you are already shackled. Musashi lived as a ronin, a masterless man, and yet he was never truly without a master. His master was discipline. He slept little, trained endlessly, carried no possessions beyond necessity. He stripped his life bare until nothing remained but the blade and the will to sharpen it. Others called him strange, even mad, but what they could not see was the freedom in his solitude. To abandon the useless is not madness, it is liberation. Ask yourself, what useless weight do you carry still? What craving whispers to you in the dark? What excuse do you polish and protect as if it were treasure? Strip it away, cut it, burn it. For every excuse you keep is one more reason you will never stand unshaken when the storm arrives. The world worships comfort. It tempts you with soft chairs, glowing screens, endless food and distraction. It whispers, rest a little longer, indulge once more, no one will know, it does not matter. But the world lies, and if you listen, you will wither. Comfort is not a gift. It is a blade pressed slowly against your throat, and when you finally notice, it will be too late. Musashi trained in solitude. He fought not only men, but the weakness within himself. He prepared for death each day so that life could not shake him. He studied storms, rivers, the flight of birds, the sway of grass in the wind. Every detail was a lesson, every moment a chance to sharpen clarity. Can you live with such focus? Can you strip away distraction until even silence becomes a weapon? Discipline is not about victory in one duel. It is the unseen victories in the 1,000 duels of a single day. Rising at dawn when the body begs for sleep. Training when the muscles scream. Resisting the craving when the appetite rages. Saying no when everything in you longs to say yes. Each choice is a strike. Each denial is a sharpened edge. And here lies the truth. No one will applaud you for this. No one will celebrate the hours you grind in silence. They will not see. They will not understand. They will mock you, call you obsessed, call you crazy, tell you that life is too short to live so harshly. Let them. For when the storm comes, they will be washed away, and you will stand as the pine tree rooted deep, unshaken. So I cut you now with the first question, and it must pierce you deeply. Are you a man of discipline or a man of excuses? Do not answer quickly. Let the silence hold the blade against your throat, for the answer will mark the rest of your path. The man of excuses clings to the crowd. He hides in noise, in laughter, in distraction, hoping no one sees the weakness that gnaws inside. But Musashi walked another road. He chose solitude, not as punishment, but as fire. Alone in caves, alone on empty roads, alone beneath the vast sky. His silence was not emptiness. It was a forge. Understand this. Solitude is not loneliness. Loneliness is hunger for company. Solitude is mastery of the self. In solitude, excuses wither. In solitude, masks fall away. You cannot hide from yourself when there are no eyes to fool. The silence becomes a mirror sharper than steel. And in that silence, a man either breaks or he is remade. Musashi entered the Reigando cave in his final years, not to escape the world, but to see it more clearly. In the darkness, with nothing but a flickering lamp and stone walls, he wrote the Dokodo, the way of walking alone. 21 precepts, cut bare to bone. Do not pursue pleasure for its own sake. Do not regret what you have done. Do not let yourself be guided by the feeling of lust or love. These were not lines of poetry. They were scars carved into words, the wisdom of a man who had killed weakness in himself until nothing soft remained. And yet the world will tell you solitude is dangerous. It will tell you that being alone means you are lost. It will urge you back to the crowd, back to distraction, back to the comfort of being unseen among the many. Do not listen. The crowd dulls the blade. The crowd forgives excuses. But the man who disciplines himself in solitude cannot be shaken when he returns to the noise. He is tempered like steel in water, quenched, hardened, unbreakable. Can you face yourself in silence? Can you endure the weight of your own reflection without distraction to soften it? This is where most fail. They run from solitude because it unmasks them. But if you dare to stay, if you dare to strip away every voice but your own, you will hear something the world cannot offer: clarity. And clarity is the beginning of mastery. Think of the pine that stands alone on the cliff. Winds tear at it, storms batter it, snow bends its branches. Yet year after year, it survives, roots deep in the rock. Alone, it grows stronger than the trees in the sheltered grove. That is solitude. That is discipline. That is the way of the warrior. Musashi's enemies often underestimated him. They thought him reckless for arriving late to duels. They thought him disrespectful for carrying 2 swords when others clung to one. They thought him mad for training until his hands bled, for sleeping little, for eating less. But they did not understand. He was not reckless. He was prepared. He was not disrespectful. He was free. He was not mad. He was disciplined beyond what their minds could hold. And this is the truth you must carve into yourself. Discipline is madness to the undisciplined. They will sneer at your routine, mock your sacrifices, laugh at your obsession. But when their bodies rot with indulgence, when their wills collapse under craving, you will remain. And in that moment, they will call your madness strength. So train when no one watches. Rise when no one calls. Strike when no one believes you can. Let your solitude become your weapon. For in the end, a man who cannot stand alone will never stand at all. Now I cut you with the second question, deeper than the first. What excuse hides in your silence? What chain still binds you when the crowd disappears? Do not flee from the answer. Face it. For until you name it, you remain its prisoner. The warrior who seeks mastery must learn detachment. Not the coldness of a heart turned to stone, but the clarity of a blade free from rust. Musashi taught that the warrior must carry himself lightly, but carry the weight of the world with depth and gravity. Imagine a man drowning in a river. His arms thrash, his lungs burn, yet he refuses to release the bag of gold clutched to his chest. He sinks not because of the current, but because of what he refuses to let go. This is how most live, chained not by enemies, but by what they cling to. Their wealth, their pride, their pleasures, their reputation. They call it life. In truth, it is the hand that drags them under. Detachment does not mean abandoning love or refusing responsibility. It means refusing to let them own you. It means training your heart so that nothing controls your hand. When the time comes to strike, you strike. When the time comes to walk away, you walk. The undisciplined cannot do this. They are ruled by their hungers. They are slaves to their desires. They cannot cut when cutting is needed, nor stand when standing means pain. But the warrior accepts pain as part of the path. He does not beg for lighter burdens. He forges a stronger back. He does not complain when storms strike. He roots deeper. Resilience is not found in wishing for calm skies. It is found in training to endure the hurricane. Think of the steel blade. It is not forged by gentle hands, but by hammer and fire. Heat that could consume, strikes that could break. Yet without fire and hammer, there is no sword. Without trial and hardship, there is no resilience. So when suffering enters your life, do not curse it. Welcome it. For suffering is the forge, and without the forge, you remain brittle. How many men collapse at the first strike of misfortune? One insult, and their pride bleeds out. One failure, and they abandon the path. One rejection, and they crumble into dust. They have trained their bodies, but not their souls. They mistake strength for the absence of pain. True strength is the ability to endure pain without breaking, to look at the wound, to feel the cut, and to remain standing. Musashi fought countless duels, and he did not win because he avoided pain. He won because he accepted it. Because no matter the wound, no matter the fear, his spirit did not waver. He was not attached to the idea of victory, nor afraid of the shadow of death. He fought with presence, with clarity, with discipline that made hesitation impossible. You too must cultivate this. Detach from the illusion that life owes you comfort. Detach from the belief that ease is your right. Life will strike you, burn you, cut you. The only choice you have is whether you will collapse or whether you will rise sharper with every blow. Ask yourself, what chain still clings to you? Is it comfort? Is it the praise of others? Is it fear of failure, fear of pain, fear of standing alone? These are your true enemies. Not the man across from you, but the weakness inside you that whispers, "Not today, not yet, not me." The warrior hears that whisper and cuts it down. He answers with action. He answers with discipline. He answers with silence in the face of fear. Resilience is not noise. It is not anger. It is stillness. It is the mountain that does not bow to the storm, the pine that does not fall, the river that carves stone not with rage, but with patience. This is the essence of the warrior's path, and it is yours if you dare to walk it. So I demand of you now, what attachment weakens your hand? What fear makes you hesitate? You must cut it, or it will cut you. And once the strike is made, do not regret it. For regret is only another chain, and the warrior cannot afford to be bound. The warrior who fears death has already lost. Musashi lived each day as though his final duel awaited him at dawn. He wrote, "The way of the warrior is resolute acceptance of death, not because he sought to die, but because only in dying to fear could he live with clarity." Look again into the mirror. Beneath your excuses, beneath your comforts, beneath your fears, there waits the shadow of death. It does not delay. It does not bargain. One day it will reach for you, and no excuse will stop it. No possession will protect you. No reputation will shield you. Only discipline decides how you meet it. Will you cower, or will you stand? Think of the cherry blossom. It blooms radiant, fragile, unashamed of its brevity. When the wind tears it from the branch, it does not resist. It falls with grace. So too must the warrior live, not clinging to life like a coward, but embracing each day as if it were already lost, and therefore infinitely precious. To master this acceptance is to master freedom. The man who fears death hesitates. He waits for tomorrow. He delays the strike. He compromises, bargains, and shrinks. But the man who accepts death is already free. He strikes without hesitation. He moves without fear. He wastes no hour, for he knows each one could be his last. Musashi faced his duels not with frenzy, but with calm. His opponents trembled, shouted, cursed. He stood silent, composed, as if the outcome were already written. For him, it was. He had already accepted the cost. Death could not frighten him, because he had already died to everything the world holds dear. That is mastery. Not invincibility, but fearlessness. And mastery is not a destination. It is not a final crown to wear. It is a path, a way. The blade is never finished. Each day it must be sharpened, each day refined. So too the soul. Discipline is not a season. It is not a 30-day trial, not a brief obsession. It is a lifetime, lived breath by breath, cut by cut, sacrifice by sacrifice. They will call you mad for living this way. They will sneer, "Why deny yourself pleasure? Why train so ruthlessly? Why live as if death stalks you?" And you will answer not with words, but with silence, with the stillness of a blade that needs no explanation. For when the storm arrives, when the flood rises, when death finally comes, they will look into your eyes and understand. The disciplined man cannot be broken, for he has already broken himself upon the anvil of his own will. He has already endured hunger, silence, solitude, rejection, fear. He has already faced the mirror and carved away excuses until nothing but steel remained. What can the world take from such a man? Nothing. He is free. So now I cut you with the final and deepest wound. It will not heal. It is not meant to. When your final hour comes, will you meet it as a servant to your appetites or as a master of yourself? Do not answer quickly. Let the silence hold you. Let the weight of the question pierce you long after this voice fades. For this is the last duel, the one no warrior escapes. And you will not rise to meet it on that day unless you have prepared in every day before it. Look into the mirror one last time. What do you see? A man chained by excuses? Or a man so disciplined, so unshakable, that they call him crazy? Choose. And once chosen, never turn back. For the way does not wait. The storm does not wait. Death does not wait. Only discipline will decide how you stand when the final strike falls.